Government Code mandates, it's not an option on the part of the owner, because the wording is, it shall be the duty. It's a mandatory provision, Your Honor.
What is the, may we know the purpose? I was telling you, Your Honor, that it is directed towards...
Are you, Counsel, disputing the accuracy of the assessment issued on these units by the city assessor of Taguig?
Your Honor, there is a big discrepancy between the market
Well,
value.
then, if you have the evidence, produce it to confront the witness. You are on cross-examination.
The permission of the Honorable Senate
You
President.
know, that is the proper thing to do. If you want to, you are confronting this witness by cross-examination without the necessary basis.
Thank you, Mr. President. May we approach the witness, Mr. President?
Please.
No, you may be violating the rule that was read by... He was citing the rule.
The Senate President just said that we are allowed.
No, you can approach, but there was no statement that you can... I'm sorry, Your Honor, I'm sorry.
Let the prosecution approach the witness.
Mr. Witness, showing to you Exhibit 151. There is an entry here. Supposed entries where it states sworn statement of honor. Now, below, it says here, will you please read what it says there?
Sworn statement of honor. Under the provision of Republic Act 7160, I hereby certify that the current and fair market value of the foregoing described property of which I am the owner administrator is to the best of my knowledge and belief as follows.
Thank you. Is there any signature in this requirement of entry to be sworn to by the owner?
Admitted, there is none, Your Honor.
The document will speak
Ilan ito?
for itself if there is a signature or there is none. So,
May you review all the other exhibits of tax declarations that you have testified to here before the Honorable Senate and inform us if there is any signed declaration made by the owner. I'll refer you to 152. Pakitingnan mo yung tax. Unless the defense will admit that there are no signatures of the...
May we know the question, Your Honor? Are there also?
The other tax declarations, Justice.
The question.
If
Your question.
if the Chief Justice signed the declaration.
Tingnan mo. Declaration. May we clarify, Your Honor? Declaration with respect to what property? Because there are three properties involved here, Your Honor.
156.
Yeah, but what property is that? Anong property?
This is the... Makibasa anong property.
This is the McKinley Hill property, Your Honor.
At the back portion, is there any signature made by the declarant owner?
Sandun yun. Wala.
There is none, Your Honor.
all right, there's none.
156.
Next.
May the word may-ari.
157. Can you also look at the rear portion and inform the Honorable Court if there is any signature of the declarant owner of the property?
There's no signature, Your Honor.
Thank you, Mr. President.
You know, what is the materiality of that?
Yeah.
The Article 2 deals with, you are presenting all of these documents under Article 2. The Article 2 of the Articles of Impeachment deals with the inclusion, disclosure, and non-inclusion of assets, isn't it?
That's correct, Your Honor.
If all of those assets were included in the SAL, and so the
complaint holds no water.
there's compliance with the required with Article 2. Now you must show that the asset is not included, then we will allow.
May I say something, Your Honor?
Oh, go ahead.
The SALN requires not only filing, but also that you file accurate entries in the SALN. And we are directly questioning the entries for their truthfulness and accuracy.
Then
because-
you produce that. You produce that. It is already established. The values are established in the declaration. Now you want to challenge the entries in this declaration, produce the evidence to controvert it.
We already did, Your Honor.
Where
because-
is it?
Because we have presented the various deeds of absolute sale covering these properties.
Then let those stay in the record. Make your summation at the proper time.
Correct, Your Honor.
You are arguing about values here. We will never end this hearing if that is your procedure. So ordered. Proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Witness, as part of your functions as City Assessor of Taguig, and as part of your functions in issuing tax declarations, are you also informed about the deeds of absolute sale involving the properties under your jurisdiction?
Yes, Your Honor, it is part of the requirements before transactions been made.
All right. So, for the Bellagio, you would have known, as part of your functions as City Assessor, I'm referring to Exhibit Quadruple A, Your Honor, that the purchase price of the Bellagio is 14,510,225
That is per deed of sale.
per deed of sale, Your
All
Honor.
right.
Whereas, the value indicated in your tax declaration, assessed value of 3,928,320 and market value of only 6,547,200. Will you confirm, Mr. Witness, that the value indicated in your tax declaration is substantially lower than the acquisition cost of this Bellagio property?
Admitted, Your Honor.
Yes.
The documents
Yes,
speak for themselves.
the best evidence. Your
Is that the case, Your Honor,
It's
also
already
for...
admitted by the prosecution, by the defense.
Thank you, Justice. But may I ask you, please, if that admission also holds true for the property at Bonifacio Ridge, Spanish Bay Tower, and also the McKinley Hill property?
There is no definite statement, Your Honor, that we can either deny or affirm. May we be informed, Your Honor?
Well, you go over.
Then
the-
may I continue, Your Honor?
Yeah, go ahead.
For Bonifacio Ridge, Mr. Assessor, per contract dated October 14, 2005, the selling price is 9,159,940, whereas in the tax declaration that you issued, the market value is merely 2,369,980, and the assessed value of 1,421,990. Will you confirm, Mr. Witness, that the actual price, the selling price or the acquisition cost of this property is more than 3 times greater than the market value reflected in your tax declaration?
If Your Honor, please, before the witness answer, may we be clarified as to the purpose of the question, Your Honor?
Please
Because-
clarify it.
May I explain, Your Honor?
Yeah.
I thought it was obvious, Your Honor, that in the SALN, the Chief Justice used values reflected in the tax declaration. We are proving right now that the acquisition cost, the actual value, or the current fair market value at the time of acquisition of these properties is far, far greater than that indicated in the
I
SALN.
understand that, Counsel. The SALN of the Chief Justice is an official document submitted by him, okay? And it reflects there the values that he attached to the properties that he declared in that SAL-N. Now, the tendency of your questioning is that those values do not show the real acquisition cost. I agree with you. That's why you have to introduce evidence to contradict those values to prove the true value of acquiring those properties by the declarant of that SAL-N. And that is what you have already done that.
We have already done
so
that,
what
Your
is the point in belaboring the issue with this witness?
Mr. President,
Yes, the majority floor leader.
Senator Marcos wishes to be recognized on that point, Mr. President.
The gentleman from Ilocos Norte.
Thank you, Mr. President. I would just like to clarify, because there seems to be a confusion or a assertion that these are somehow discretionary values that can be imputed. The assessed value is very simply the schedule of fair market value, which is contained in an ordinance that is passed by the Sanggunian of that LGU. And from the schedule of fair market value, as is explained by Senator Recto, they take a percentage of that. Ano ba yung ating it's 30% for residential, 60% for condo, and
50% for agriculture.
That's right. So these assessed values come directly from the ordinance of that states the schedule of fair market value. The assessor has no discretion here. He simply has to follow fair market value times 30%, 50%, 60%, whatever it is. So I think that whatever the acquisition cost was, it does not indicate any shall we say discretionary adjustment by the assessor. If we're putting the assessor on a spot here when all the assessor does is make that very simple calculation. Just to clarify for everyone that these assessed values are pretty much dictated to the assessor by the ordinance that is passed by the Sanggunian of Taguig City. Just for clarification, Mr. President.
Counsel, you already established the basis that, and you asked that a while ago, that these documents presented by this witness are for tax purposes only. They do not deal with the actual fact of acquisition of the property by the declarant, Chief Justice of that SAL-N in question.
That being the case, Your Honor, we have no further cross-examination.
Precisely. Then you have already introduced the controverting evidence.
Mr. President,
Majority Floor
may
Leader.
we recognize Senator Alan Cayetano, the minority leader, who have wished to be recognized. Then Senator Lacson and Senator Recto.
Magandang hapon, Mr. President, sa ating pong dalawang panig. When lawyers and numbers come together, ganito talaga nangyayari. Kaya sa mga pre-law courses, tinanggal na yung maraming math courses, no? But allow me to help my kababayan in the witness stand to help clarify. By first, a question to both the prosecution and defense.
May I suggest, with due respect, before you proceed, let's suspend the session for
10 minutes, Mr. President. 15 minutes.
For 15 minutes.
Pwede na siguro. Hindi ako mag-on muna.
We want to acknowledge Mr. Ryan Pakpako. Good afternoon. We will ask Congressman Sani Angara to begin.
Magandang hapon ho. So, yung tumestigo po, yung pang-anim ng natestigo ng depensa, ang Taguig City Assessor po, ang lumalabas po na mahalaga dun sa kanyang testigo para sa amin, ay sinabi niya po na ang assessed value po ay or 25 million halaga ng mga allowance. Ano naman ang lumabas dun sa kanyang cross-examination, dun sa tatlong witness, ay lumalabas, hindi naman pwedeng bulsahin pala to, itong 26 million. Hindi pwedeng bulsahin, ang pwede lang bulsahin doon, siguro mga 12-13 million. So, sabihin na natin na hindi na kumain si Chief Justice, lahat po, inipon niya yon, hindi na wala na siyang ginastos sa kuryente, sa ibang bagay, ay kulang pa rin ho yun dun sa mga binibili po nilang ari-arian. So, yun ang sinasabi natin, parang kinakagat po sila ng sarili nilang mga testigo. Sapagkat dun nga sa allowances, hindi naman pala pwedeng bulsahin yun. Dito naman sa assessed value, testigo mismo nilang, yun ang gusto namin i-emphasize, sila ay prinesenta po ng depensa. At ang sinabi po nila, yung assessed value, ibang-iba po yun sa fair market value, ibang-iba po yun sa acquisition cost. So I'll turn it over po to my colleagues.
Siguro, anyway, lahat ng, so far, lahat po ng testigong pinipresenta nila, ang objective naman ay una, ay madalas silang sinasabi, paliitin yung number of properties na kinakailangan ipaliwanag dahil di nga mapaliwanag. So, pinapalit nila yon, hindi lamang nila pinapaiksi yung listahan, kundi at the same time, pinapababa nila yung value ng bawat isa. So, kung makikita ninyo, kaya pinipresenta po ito, is really to lower the value of, allegedly, of the properties that he acquired, while at the same time, yung unang dalawang testigo naman nila, ay yung tatlo pala, ay para ipakita na malaki ang kinikita naman ni Chief Justice. So, linawin lang po natin, base sa mga tatlong testigong nauna, categorically, sinasabi po namin dito is that based on the three witnesses that they presented, Mrs. Bayuga, as well as Attorney Guevara from the PET, from the SET, yun ay kabahagi na rin po ng kay Ms. Bayuga, pati sa HRET, lahat po ng sinabi nila, nag-amount po yon sa 26.6 million. 26.69 million po ang supposedly sinasabi nilang tinanggap. But in actuality, out of that 26, ang totoo lamang po na salaries and other emoluments ay nagkakahalaga lamang po ng 11.5 million. So, if you look at it, 11.5, all the rest po nung sinasabi nilang kinikita ay hindi kita. If you look at the importante po yung kanina na testigo from the Supreme Court, kaya po natin pinabalik. May sinabi po doon na mga usapin about extraordinary and miscellaneous expenses na nandun po nang gagaling yung iba't ibang allowances na sinasabing sweldo kaya napakarami nung kinikita ni Chief Justice. Extraordinary miscellaneous expense, monthly expense allowance from the PET, the SC Christmas allowance na alam po ninyo ay pwede lamang pang-donate sa mga foundations, expenses allowance as JBC, pati po yung per diem allowances, lahat po ng allowances ng iba outside of the 11.58 million na in salaries over the last 9.5 years, lahat ng allowances po na yon, as testified to kanina, required po yung Chief Justice na pumirma. It is under oath. In a sense, he certifies that the expenditures to be reimbursed without the need of presenting receipts for purposes within the contemplation of the General Appropriation Act are necessary, meaning the expenses are necessary, lawful, and correct, and were incurred by reason of and or in furtherance of the performance of the functions and duties of my position, whether as chairman of the SET, as member of the member of the PET, or as a member of the HRET. So lahat po yan nagre-require ng certification because they are in effect reimbursement for expenses na sinasabi nga po nila doon. So kahit anong pagtingin po natin, even by their own witness, let's just wag na natin masyadong i-complicate. Even using their own witness na presenta po nila, si Attorney Guevara from the Senate Electoral Tribunal, na sinabi nga po nila, number 1 po yun sa bar. Talagang kahanga-hanga po. Sinabi niya, malinaw na malinaw, that the allowances cannot be taken home. They are only or should be spent in accordance to the purpose for which they are being given, which is essentially to run the office. Hindi ho yan po pwedeng gamitin pambili ng condominium, hindi ho yan po pwedeng pambili ng lote sa La Vista, hindi rin ho yan po pwedeng pambili ng penthouse. So, by any stretch of any imagination, all the salaries that he has been able to make in the last 9 years ay hindi ho talaga kayang makabili ng mga properties na nakikita po natin. Now, para sa amin, kung titingnan po natin, is that yung katuwang ng presentation po kanina doon sa pinakita po sa relative to the SALN, lahat po ng SALN ni Chief Justice, no? Lahat po ito para sa amin, nagpapakita talaga that it only shows that the Chief Justice knew he could not in any way justify these purchases. That's why these condominiums were only declared in April 28 of 2011. Parati nila sinasabi, declared naman yan sa SALN, declared naman po yan. Huwag nating kalimutan, dineclare lamang po yon April 28 of 2011. When there was already a lot of talk about the impeachment of the Chief Justice. Dineclare ba yan noong 2005, nung inacquire ang columns? Wala po. Dineclare ba noong 2006, nung binili po ang Bonifacio Ridge? Wala po. Dineclare ba yan noong 2010, nung binili ang Bellagio? Wala rin po. And when you look at all the SALNs, while they presented this witness today, yung assessor, the assessor can only testify on the assessed value, which he already has admitted is much lower than the acquisition cost. Ang pinaka-importante pong part ng SALN is the acquisition cost. Why? Because sa SALN, sinusukat ang SALN na isang pamamaraan para i-monitor ang ill-gotten wealth. Are you making more money, or are you buying or acquiring properties or having more deposits in banks beyond your salary? Kaya yung acquisition cost pong tinitingnan doon dahil para masabi, under oath, ito ang pagka-acquire ko ng property na ito for this much, and yet ito lang ang salary mo. Sukatan po yan. Kaya nga ho yan dinadala sa ombudsman at pinapakita dahil ito po ang nagiging sukatan para po sa isang public official kung siya po ay nagpapayaman o hindi. Nowhere in the SALN of the Chief Justice from 2002 up to 2010 na may nakalagay pong acquisition cost. Wala. They are all vague, they're all blank as far as his SALNs are concerned, which is the most critical. So, para po sa amin, malinaw po ito na talagang he's caught in a bind, no? Before I turn over to Kong Erin, he's caught in a bind in a sense that ngayon gusto ho niyang i-claim na yung kabuuan ng kanyang tinatanggap from the Supreme Court ay pwede niyang ipambili ng condominium. Yun po sinasabi nila eh. Kita niyo naman po, may 21 million galing Supreme Court. ipinambili po yan ng mga condominium, ng mga property sa La Vista. Pero kung isipin po natin, sinabi na po, based on their own witness, hindi mo pwedeng gamitin yan for personal use. I'm not saying that. That is the very same witness that they said, ito po ang aming testigo, number 1 po sa bar, at obviously, magaling naman po talaga na abogada, but based on her own testimony, sinabi niya, hindi mo pwedeng gamitin yan. And yet, they have to justify these purchases. So effectively, when you look at it, he is also courting more criminal cases afterwards because he is effectively certifying in his payroll that I have spent it for public purposes, but at the same time, dito sa atin, ay sinasabi niyang, hindi ko yan dyan ginamit. Kahit sinumpaan ko pa yan, sinertify ko na ginamit ko for the public purpose for which it was given, in actuality, pinambili ko yan ng condominium. Yun po ang sinasabi nila. So, it only invites, the defense that they're presenting only invites more criminal cases for the Chief Justice.
Dagdag lang, no? Balikan lang po natin, no? Sabi nga ni Kong Miro, from 2002 up to 2010, walang nakalagay na acquisition cost. Ang tanong na pumapasok sa mga kaisipan po natin, bakit kaya? No? At wala naman rason na hindi ilagay yan dahil wala naman tao na pwede po nating sabihin na kung ibebenta po niya yung lupa, na ibebenta po niya sa paluging presyo. No? So dapat, syempre, ang ilalagay mo ang pagbenta mo na isang lupa, at least approximating yung acquisition cost ng bili mo para masabi po natin, quits lang po tayo, walang tubo, walang... Pero yung nakakapagtaka talaga kung bakit hindi nilalagay yung acquisition cost. Dahil dito nga makikita na talagang merong under declaration. Meron under declaration. So, yan lang po. Simple lang po yung pagtingin. No? No one in a reasonable mind would sell the property that he bought, no, at a lower price than the acquisition cost that he purchased. The question, why did he not put it in his SALN from 2002 hanggang 2010?
Sir, we have so many questions about the SALN, but one of the defense lawyers of CJ Corona said na yung nag-fill up ng SALN is Mrs. Corona, not CJ himself. Is that acceptable under law?
We'll have to confirm first kung talagang...
Well, the signatory is Justice Corona and not Mrs. Corona.
Sir, ang nagsabi po nun si Justice Cuevas, kaya daw po nila gagawing witness si Mrs. Corona.
Well, tignan ho natin dahil importante na ang unang-una, ang nakapirma sa SALN si Chief Justice Corona. Ang nanumpa ay si Chief Justice Corona. So wag na natin muna i-speculate kung sino talaga mag-fill up, no? Kung sino ang iharap po nila, handa po namin i-cross-examine.
At ang mahalaga under the law, yung may sanction ay doon pa ipapataw sa filer, hindi sa actual na gumawa. It's not the accountant, it's not the wife, it's not the lawyer, it is the filer, the public official himself. Siya yung mananagot sa ilalim ng batas.
Sir, follow up lang.
Dagdag lang, kung totoo yung sinasabi po, sana naman wag naman magtago sa likod ni Mrs. Corona si Justice Corona.
Sir, if ever lang po na ipatawag si Mrs. Corona, have you decided who will cross-examine her?
Iiwanan na lang po natin sa prosecution po yan, no? I think that is a strategy that we will not also divulge.
At saka, we will in fact decide if we will cross-examine her to begin with. Basta ang masasabi lang namin is, kung sino man ang nandun nagsimula ng mag-cross-examination, hindi sa kalagitnaan, hindi namin papalitan yan, ha? Siguro isang panghuli po, no? Isang observation din po namin is that yung all throughout the time that when we were presenting evidence, madalas pong sinasabi ng defense is that napaka walang ebidensya, wala kaming tingin namin, baka napakabilis namin magrepresenta dahil wala halos na ipresenta ang prosecution. Pero kitang-kita po natin in the last 3 days that everything that they've been trying to present is present evidence that the Chief Justice does not have ill-gotten wealth. Ganun po. Lahat sa nakarang 3 araw, pinatutunayan po nila or what they're trying to prove is that the Chief Justice does not have ill-gotten wealth. Ang ibig lamang pong sabihin yan is yung provisions po ng Anti-Graft and Corrupt Practices Act, yung madalas po natin pinag-uusapan noon, na nung sinabi po nung Senado, tinatanggal po namin ng 2.4, if you remember that paragraph, on ill-gotten wealth, sabi ng Senado, hindi na namin yan pag-uusapan because that's a conclusion of law that arises once you're able to present evidence that the public official who is a respondent has acquired assets that is grossly disproportionate to his salary. There is a rebuttable presumption that arises. What they're doing today clearly shows that we were able to establish that presumption. With the evidence that we were able to present, he had 32 million worth of real properties acquired over an 8-year period, and that he had 31.9 million in PS Bank. He had substantial dollar accounts which he refuses up to today to release. It's obvious to us that if the evidence we presented was so light, why then are they now trying to remove that burden? That burden of proof has obviously shifted to them because we were clearly able to establish that the Chief Justice was able to acquire wealth that could not be explained by his salary. Kaya ito pong ginagawa nila ngayon. In fact, you catch it whenever they try to explain in court, ipinipresenta po namin para maipakita na kaya po niyang bilhin yung mga yan. So that is obvious to us, and we look at it as, in a sense, as a validation and confirmation that we did present sufficient evidence, because otherwise, bakit sila nagpipresenta ng pagkarami-raming ebidensya patungkol doon sa kinikita ni Chief Justice over the last 8.5 years?
Nais ko yun ipaalala po sa atin na doon sa SALENS ni Chief Justice mula 2003 hanggang 2010, meron siyang nakalagay ho na inutang niya po sa Basa Guidote na 11 million po na by 2010 ay fully paid po. So that's 11 million over a span of 7 or 8 years. Kung totoo, kung tama po yung kalkulasyon namin dito sa prosecution na 11 to 12 million lang po ang kanyang discretionary income o pwede niyang gastusin kung paano niya gusto, eh doon pa lang sa pagbayad niya ng utang ng Basa Guidote, ubos na po yung kinita niya. So it still leaves there's still a lot of questions. Kumbaga, itong lahat ng testigo tungkol sa lahat ng natanggap po niyang benepisyo ay mas marami pa ring itinatapon po na tanong sa ere.
Dagdag lang no sa sinabi po ni Kong Sani, kailangan rin we are looking at it in absolute values. Mas maganda rin kung i-breakdown po natin yan kada taon. Dito natin makikita kung talagang kakasya po yung sinasabi nilang pinagagastusan sa kanilang declaration. Dahil dito rin natin makikita na hindi rin talaga sasapat yung sinasabi nila kung ang titignan lamang is absolute. Pero kung i-breakdown po natin kada taon, lalong hindi aabot.
Tsaka siguro panghuli, dun sa sinabi na lang ni Deputy Speaker Erin Tanyada, is malinaw po yun, no? They try to simplify things by simply showing these are his real properties worth almost 32 million, and this is the amount of money he made in that same period of time. Which is not correct because yung properties, inacquire po niya yung La Vista noong 202, inacquire niya yung Columns noong 04, yung Bonifacio Ridge ng 05, yung Bellagio noong 09. So, hindi ito, ang paglaki ng kanyang sahod dumating nung siya naging Supreme Court Chief Justice, which began when he was appointed during the prohibited period under the Constitution, but be that as it may, in May of 2010. So, hindi ho tama pero they try to oversimplify it by saying he made this much, pero ito rin lang naman ang kanyang properties. Wala naman ho silang pinapakitang sources kung papaano na-acquire po yung mga yan. Okay, maraming salamat po.
Trial result. The gentleman from Taguig has the floor.
Thank you, Mr. President. Kanina